I'm very excited to welcome back to the stage Mike Lynch and welcome to the stage Dietmar Fauser for a conversation.
Thanks, Alexandra. In case you don't remember me from it, I'm the product guy and it's the engineer that's not wearing the jacket. So just in case. Dietmar, here we are again. It's exciting to see you. I think our job here is to talk a little bit about what we've seen and what we're excited about for the rest of the day. But can you kind of call out anything that you thought was particularly interesting from this morning's sessions? Earlier afternoon sessions. I'm getting there.
So yeah, to share some thoughts. So first and foremost, it's 1 year in since we had last Innovate here in New York, and if I look back, we were just through the acquisition of Cloud9, Streetlinks, and the demos I've seen this morning. Of course, I've seen them before, but what I find interesting and really good to point out is the speed at which the teams have come together. It is very complementary, as we see, and we realize more and more how good really these acquisitions were. So seeing instant voice starting to be integrated into Symphony, having a full multi-modal communication platform, everything is compliant, I think is a big thing. We have seen ECP, so the embedded chat platform, and of course the federation into more consumer networks, WhatsApp, WeChat, which is growing really fast currently. So it shows that it's a true value proposition to the industry, given what we have heard from the commissioner also today. So it's really good to see everything in motion and the progress that we have been making since then. And perhaps a word on regulation. So we talked a lot about cloud computing. The commissioner mentioned that CME has inked a deal with Google. So also a year ago, so more or less at the same time that we acquired the companies, we have established a deal with Google to move more workloads to them. So the fact that they went into the financial business big with CME was kind of reassuring, and it shows that there is, of course, a mega trend happening. So yeah, I'm very pleased to see all of these things.
I think that's right. I think
being in motion.
Yeah, I think as we get towards the next demo, and obviously Cloud9 and Symphony coming together, what we're calling instant voice, it's going to look quite easy, right? Oh, just I can be able to be in a Symphony chat room and all of a sudden hit somebody and instantly speak to them. But you and I both know how complicated that's been able to bring in two totally different tech stacks, two totally different teams who didn't know each other a year ago. And really build this together. So it's been a really exciting collaboration. I think something the market so far that we've seen is quite excited for. Now, we always try to use this session a little bit. We spend a lot of time about what we can show today, what's ready, what we can, what's there. But Dietmar and I and the team and Brad and everybody are of course always talking about what's next and the things that we're not ready to show yet. They might not be quite real, but we're excited about them. And why don't we, maybe in the cloud theme, Dietmar, is there anything you want to kind of talk to the audience a little bit about what you're spending a lot of your headspace on?
Yeah, so a bit more the forward-looking things, like short to midterm future we are working on is, so a lot of discussions with the cloud provider, with our customers, with advisors. So I come to this in a second on a complete field that we call confidential compute. So we come back to the cloud computing. So going to the cloud is opening, of course, a lot of capabilities, fast access to emerging technology, relatively secure computation. Because secure, I mean because the infrastructure stack is industrialized, managed, so you don't have to deal with Linux vulnerabilities, so all of the stuff that happens to all of us permanently. But it also obviously opens some dangers like data leakage or exposing keys and things like this on the cloud. So there is a lot of recent technology that is available to, for example, fully entirely protect memory space on a computer, for example, to ensure that if you decrypt data in a given memory segment, that this piece of computational capacity is totally shielded and guaranteed by the hardware not to be intruded or, sorry for my English, not to be violated. So confidential compute is important. So we have created this year our technical advisory group. So we went through this. Of course, with the goal to move on-prem components to the cloud and in the future offer more data processing capabilities that, of course, are not accessible by Symphony, but that is a tool set that allows for data pipelining, artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, all the buzzwords we are hearing about that are currently they're hitting the ground. There is a lot of activity ongoing, but we have to ensure that this is safe on the cloud. So, so that's a relatively big field, and of course we work with Google and the other tech providers on this. Another one is post-quantum encryption, quantum security. So we all create a lot of data. It is protected by existing encryption schemes, AES 256 in our case, and others. And we try to get our heads around at what point in time quantum computing will offer capabilities to break these existing encryption schemes in a matter of seconds, not in a matter of billions of years that we currently talk about. So it is very important that we all, and of course Symphony, starts to encrypt the data with post-quantum safe encryption schemes early enough to avoid that there are like gigantic archives hanging on the cloud that in the future will be vulnerable. And we already see evidence that people try to grab data that is fully encrypted just in light of exploring this potentially. So there are big archives on the dark web where we see encrypted data sitting around that no one currently can make use of, but in a matter of 5 years or so, it will be extremely vulnerable. So there is a big problem cooking up. And in Symphony, of course, we try to be a bit ahead of the wave and ensure that the data we start to encrypt now is safe in 5, 7 years when quantum computing will hit the mainstream appliances.
Yeah, I think, obviously we were founded with security at our core and encryption at our core, and we're excited to be a leader in this space as well as the next wave of what security looks like and means for this industry comes about. I was going to, as we kind of close up and get the next thing going, I think, you touched on data, Brad touched on data, and that I think is the topic that's probably most exciting to me, and how we have two terms that we've been using internally. This idea of Symphony as a data exchange, then how does Symphony provide data intelligence? O is, of course, with the end-to-end encryption still intact, and I think we saw with what the Tada bot did with Euromoney, the ability to provide and transmit secure, structured data between organizations. How do we start to think about Symphony more as a mechanism by which dealers, third-party platforms, asset managers can start to share their information, whether it's unstructured data like we do today, messages, voice, semi-structured content, structured content, and really create something that really is a network of content types that is inherently decentralized and secure. And that, we're obviously thinking a lot about that, and hopefully we're going to talk a lot more about that in the future.
We're going to talk more about this.
Yeah, exactly.